All right, hello, everybody.
Whoa.
Yo! Ah!
Every time I get scared. Every time.
It's like those bits where like people will just write down "boo." People really like ah.
Buh!
Boo.
Whoa.
Whoa!
I saw a shirt today, or Katrina showed me a shirt today, and it was that part about his purse. Bobby's purse episode.
That's my purse.
That's my
I don't
purse.
know you.
I don't know you. That's the one. Yep. And I was like, I need that shirt.
Oh my god. Anyhow, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin.
Mark.
And I'm Philip.
And you're watching and or listening to episode 480 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. Got a lot of stuff going on this past week, but how are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
Doing all right. How
Mark?
you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
Good.
I love that long pause in there.
Well, no, I was wondering if someone was going to go next, and then we both said it at the same time. So, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're... No, we're not going to
Don't you dare. Don't you dare make a Kingdom Hearts reference this early. It is
right.
too early for that.
I'll switch into my next one. Okay, guys,
Oh, no.
spread out. Hey, wait. Hey, wait. Sonic, wait.
Oh my god.
I think it's too early, but I got to turn on a fan. Oh, man.
Oh man.
God, where do we want to begin? Where do conversations start?
I don't know. Mark, how was your weekend? Or how's your Friday so far and Saturday?
It's been all right.
Nice.
Not too terribly much going on.
Any new games you've been picking up, or have you been playing a consistent one?
What have I been playing?
Loading. Do not turn off power.
I'm trying to think of what have I been playing recently, because I haven't had that much, because like I haven't been able to pick up new games in months.
But Game Pass is a thing.
Yeah.
Nah, that's expired.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no, he's just... He's just like out there in the open now.
He's exposed.
I'm existing.
The breeze.
Oh my god.
Mostly just been doing stuff on the PC. Like I've done some of the new Fortnite season.
Oh, cool. I should have asked about that. The OG?
Yeah, the OG feels old school. Feels a lot better with the zero build.
Yeah. Oh, it probably does.
You know, I didn't think about that. Zero build now and OG sounds amazing.
Especially since they got the graphical update too.
That's right. The Unreal Engine 5 update. Might make me want to go download it.
I've been thinking about going back and forth on that one as far as like getting the character skins, because I know the only ones I really have are just all the My Hero ones. Although I think they updated those. I don't think I ever got back for those. That's
Yeah, they had Todoroki.
Yeah. I do remember that. Those memes were wildin'. But
Justin, what have you been playing?
I've been playing through Legend of Zelda Boundless Trails.
Yeah.
I've been getting into a group of like trying to get through that and just finishing it so I can actually jump into Mario and like Spider-Man, because I want to do some content relating to those guys, but I do not want to like shelf this game right now. And I'm doing pretty well, doing some good pacing there, but I came across something that like really just like peeved me. And it was
in the game?
Yeah. So I think a lot of the Trails games are like this, where they have time quests, and they don't necessarily tell you when it's going to expire. It's just as you progress through the game. So there's this one side quest where like one of these like higher administrators are asking you like, hey, can you do this for me real quick? I need you to go into the next world, aka the next chapter, go through the stages and look for specific things that I've lost there. You can see them, you can pick them up, and when you get all three, return it back to me. And I was like, okay, cool. So I find like first two, and there's like a third one in like the final stage of that world. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just all right, got it now. So I'll just go ahead and complete everything else on like this stage, finish like the stage, and then once I finish up, I'll just send it back to him. And then little did I know, after beating the boss there, it would then like take me through like a long-winded like sequence of like ending the chapter, saving my progress, having no option to go back to that world until a little bit later, and I just checked my mail, which is like the side quest listings, and it's gone. I was like, wait, what do you mean? I go talk to the guy. I'm like, hey, I got your stuff, and he's like, no, dude, we gotta go stop the big bad and everything like that. And he just saw like doesn't even acknowledge that I have this stuff.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, well, I just got locked out of like one of those skills I could have gotten from 100%ing, but okay.
Well,
damn. Yeah, Falcom games tend to do that. East, the way you're describing it sounds more like East. So
Really, does East House still have like those side quests?
Modern East games do have those kind of side quests where it's
Oh
time.
no. Because
However,
yeah,
East 8 at least tells you
if it's
like,
gonna like expire.
Yeah, because like because that game is based on like days, and so it's like the longer you play, the more days pass by.
Gotcha.
And so it at least tells you, hey, it's still pretty early. You could still like finish it if you want to. Hey, you're getting pretty late. You're getting close to the timer on this. Like,
yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
But then again, that's East 8, right? Like we're talking about a game on PSP from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You have to remember that.
Yeah, this is true. These are all like pretty much PSP games. And they had different like I guess tolerance levels, different design in like how you approach it, because unfortunately it's not something where like you could just take that main quest and just follow through with it and then you finish up the side quest that you probably could in like Spider-Man nowadays. So that's just the only downside of that now. Is that nowadays like they understand that like everyone has like a different pacing for everything. So you can do this, you can do that, but like if you want to go 100%, you have to actually follow the steps here and there.
Man.
It is.
That sucks though.
I gotta throw another "it is what it is" card.
Yeah.
These ways.
That does suck though. I hate when that happens. Like those games that have that kind of design. Oof. I love them, but I also hate them. Like at the same time.
Gotcha. But Phil, what have you been up to? What games have you been playing?
Still running through Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
I'm definitely going for that platinum. So it's been like a slow grind, but not really. Like I just been doing all like what I usually do is I do all the side quests that I possibly can. And so I can't do anything else. And then I'm like, well, do the next main story and then new things open up. And so then I do that. So I believe I have one more side thing to do, and then I'm gonna continue the story. But I am at least 50% done with the story.
Oh.
So I am 50% way through the game. So at least. After the podcast, I probably will play a little bit more of it.
Gotcha.
On the Switch, I beat Sonic Superstars.
Oh, congrats.
No. No. Let me rephrase that. I 100%ed Sonic Superstars. I never want to do that again in my life.
Oh.
Never. The main story, great. I thought it was fun. The last boss is kind of rude, but
sure,
whatever. Like, I could still cheese them. Like, I figured it out. I was like, oh, cool, or whatever. Good game. I liked it. It's all the extra story stuff that I wanted to just like rip my hair out and just throw my controller across the room, dude.
Dang.
Like, dude, just for the record, for anybody watching this, spoiler warnings right now. Because I don't know if you actually care about spoilers in Sonic Superstars, but just in case, this is content that happens after you beat the main game. You unlock Trip's story. So Trip becomes a playable character, which is cool. She's kind of a mix of Vector from Knuckles Chaotix and the Spike Wisp from Sonic Colors. Because the way she jumps, she turns into a ring, kind of like Vector. But she can actually climb on walls like the Spike power-up. Okay. So it's kind of a cool mix. She's pretty fun to play as. So I'm not mad about that. Trip's actually a fun character to play as. And her super form is a dragon. So she literally just transforms into a dragon and just like flies around the stage. It's pretty funny.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She gets her own story mode. Like she gets her own like thing where you have to play the entire game over again, but it's remixed levels and they are unnecessarily more difficult than the original game. And by more difficult is some of the design is changed of slightly, and they add more enemies on screen. And so it's just a game of getting hit, getting a ring, keep going the whole time. And that was kind of annoying. Some of the bosses are different, especially the last boss for that story. Fang can stay in obscurity. I can't stand that
character. Who?
Exactly.
Who?
I know that they brought him back from the dead, you know, like that's cool. Fang is a cool looking character. He can stay hidden. I can't stand him, dude. Like
he said no thank you, I'm fine.
Yeah, dude, he's the final boss of Trip Story. Like it's completely different boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
And in a Sonic game, when you put one hit kills,
oh no.
I already hate you. I had 16 rings just in case. And it doesn't matter what you do. Those rings do not matter. Anything that you get touched with, you're dead. And it's a gauntlet. It's literally a gauntlet. The boss has 2 forms, and each form takes like 12 hits.
Oh, jeez.
Like, get out of here, dude. Like, you're kidding me. And then I beat it, and then I was like, after like, I don't even know how many tries, but I beat it. And I was like, thank God I'm done. Oh my God. I never want to do that again. Nope, because the last story opens up. That's literally what it's called.
The last story.
And like, here's the thing. That's supposed to be the big grand moment. That is the Super Sonic fight.
Mm-hmm.
You got all the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Everything's ready to go. You're Super Sonic the whole time flying around. You're like, oh hell yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I live for.
Once.
Dude, first of all, the actual boss for that makes no sense. Like I'm talking like it's this big purple dragon. Nowhere in this game does that indicate that that's an enemy. Nowhere. I was like, what do you mean there's this big demon looking dragon? Like I get that Trip's a dragon, but even then they didn't explain anything.
This is true.
So that's already weird. And then the boss fight itself is like unnecessarily like unfair. Because if anybody knows how Sonic works, when you're Super Sonic, your rings deplete. You have to have 50 rings on you at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Your rings start depleting from 50. Okay, well, this is the same case. You are Super Sonic the whole time. If you hit 0 rings, you're dead. Rings are randomly show up. They're RNG. So you better hope to God that you don't want. And they did the dumbest thing. Apparently, this is in Mania, but I don't really use Super Sonic in Mania except for the boss battle. So there's that. Whenever you actually do an attack, a dash, it takes away 5 rings.
Huh?
While it's depleting. So to attack the boss, you have to hit him with the dash. So you have to take the hit of 5 rings every single
you have to manage
time.
it a little bit more.
You have to manage everything. And it just becomes really annoying because the boss can't hurt you. That's the thing. You're invincible. He can't hurt you, but he can stall you from trying to get rings.
Mm-hmm.
And that no. I beat it. The cutscene was not worth it. It was like 10 seconds. Just look it up online.
Just look it up online.
I'm not even that person to advocate that kind of stuff, but just it ain't worth it, bro. Just do it.
You give it the completionist rating of finish it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm taking a page out of Gerard's book right now.
Mm.
Yeah, just finish the game. Just finish the main story. That's the best part of the game. I feel like that is comparable to like classic Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the game is trash. Don't even play it. It's that bad.
Okay. All right.
It really hurt my feelings saying that because I don't want to trash it. But that's essentially half the game. So that's why I was like, oh no. Why? Yeah, no, I was not having fun with that game. So I beat it, put it in the box. It's on the shelf.
Done.
Other than that on Switch though, I've been playing Mario Kart. The new
Let's
DLC came out.
go. Great segue.
Yep.
Yeah. Final DLC,
DLC.
released.
Wave 6 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
Oh, my fault. You gotta give it the full government.
And the track list is pretty good. We got...
Yeah.
I have it in front of me, so thank God I can do this.
Okay.
We have, from the Acorn Cup, Rome Avanti from Mario Kart Tour, DK Mountain from Mario Kart Double Dash, Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii, and Piranha Plant Cove, which is new. Well, it's from Tour, but it's considered the new stage, so okay. Yeah. Then we have, from the Spiny Cup, Madrid Drive Tour, Mario Kart Tour, Rosalina's Ice World, Mario Kart 7, Bowser's Castle 3, Super Mario Kart, and the very infamous Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii. I will say that this was a very safe lineup. Because none of them are inherently bad. Like, none of them are like, oh, these are badly designed or whatever. Like, they're all just very, like...
real quick, Ibrahim, we'll definitely talk about that.
Good. Like, they're right there. You know what I mean? I will say some of the highlights for me personally. DK Mountain's always a standout. That's like one of my favorite tracks in Double Dash, so I'm really glad it made it in. I really like Piranha Plant Cove. It makes no sense that Piranha Plant's the theme, but it's a cool track. Like I'm cool with it. Bowser Castle 3 is outstanding. It's such a dynamic shift from when they introduced, what was it, Mario Circuit 3, where that track literally is Super Nintendo. Like, it's flat. You see the colored bricks, like telling you that this is an older track, like, and they don't do anything with it. It's basically just the Super Nintendo with 3D models, and that's all it is. Bowser Castle 3, on the other hand, holy crap, they went above and beyond with that track. They made sure that anti-gravity, they made the stage design, like, they made the layout the same, but it's what's in the track that's completely different. There's like the boost jumps off the side at the end. There's that whole winding road from the stairs. There's the thwomps now. Like, that's crazy. That track's really good. It's short, but it's simple. It's effective. It's definitely a highlight in this pack. And of course, Rainbow Road is... Well, I mean, I don't think there's a bad Rainbow. Well, Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road is bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Can I say
Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road though is for the men. It's the one that separates the men from the boys.
I don't really have a lot of experience with Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road or Mario Kart Wii just in general because I never had that console. But I wanted to say, when we were doing the race, well, at least we were doing our stream on like Thursday because it released earlier that night.
Wednesday.
Or was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. Yeah, you're right. I like to pat myself on the back. I did pretty good, like, for that entire session. And that was my first time doing that. And aside from just like placing, like, first, the experience, the music and everything like that, for the experience for the first time, I don't even have any point of reference as far as like the music track itself. That was kind of like, I wouldn't say life changing, but that was definitely like an experience.
Life changing.
Because like there's a bit of swelling in the track as you're like putting the pressure on yourself to make sure you maintain that like placement. It was amazing. It was actually a really good track. So
it's really good. Well, Rainbow Road Wii, correct?
Yes,
it's really good. It's one of my favorite Rainbow Roads. My favorite is still 3DS, which is in here already.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I think aesthetically it's why I love that one because you go through planets, you jump on the moon, like it's really cool. I like that one the most. But sure. Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road is like a tough one. Like, it's one of the tougher ones to play on, and it feels like an actual like fun finale to this whole track pack. So that's why I liked it. It was a good inclusion. It was either going to be that or GameCube Rainbow Road. That one's the toughest, in my opinion. They're both equally pretty tough. You know what? I think GameCube's only tougher because of the physics of that game. It's not necessarily that the track is the toughest. That could be it. But I think Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road is really good.
And dude,
it's fun.
It's
I love the part where you jump like sideways.
Oh yeah. That's a really cool bit.
Like it's like you're playing Tony Hawk, bro. You have to do a jump from the half pipe into the next one. Like I was like, that's cool. You'll love to see it.
Was it all anti-gravity?
No, that wasn't even. There was no anti-gravity in that one.
Man, dude.
I think I have to double check,
yeah.
but I don't remember or recall seeing it.
Yeah, you know what? Of all the things that they've incorporated up until Mario Kart 8, I think the zero gravity was like a really cool like implementation to like how you like interact or how you design these courses. But I feel like that kind of just started to like fade away, or not fade away, but more like I stopped noticing it like as we were playing through like these different DLC stuff. So I don't even know which ones actually really had it.
It wasn't very well incorporated into the DLC. It's definitely like present in the main 48 courses for sure. But when it comes to DLC, a lot of it's pulled from Mario Kart Tour. Well, actually, basically all of it's pulled from Mario Kart Tour.
Oh yeah,
and Tour doesn't have the anti-gravity.
They don't have it. Oh man.
So it's cool when they go back and actually add it to certain tracks, like just to make sure, or courses to make sure that it kind of matches Mario Kart 8. For instance, the ice cream level in Mario Kart 8, it's all anti-gravity.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
When in Mario Kart Tour, it's not. So that's cool. Like, I don't know. It just depends on the course, I guess. Some of the courses could have used it though. Like some of the courses definitely would have benefited more from it.
Honestly, that's what I'm kind of thinking about. What Mario Kart, I guess what Ibrahim was saying, what Mario Kart 9 would be kind of about, as far as, you know, if they want to continue beyond Mario Kart 8, which is going to be a big undertaking. In fact, it's probably the whole reason why they had like a year or two of development with all the sales with Mario Kart, as well as the DLC incorporated into all that. How do they go about like reinventing the wheel, or like, well, that was not a necessary pun. But how do they add more to that? Like the zero gravity was kind of like the add-on for Mario Kart 8, and you know it's still there for the main courses, but as far as DLC stuff, wasn't as much of a notable thing. So how do they change it up to make it so that the way you engage in like different tracks, how do you redesign it to like utilize a whole new mechanic while most likely maintaining everything else that they had in the past, including zero gravity?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be interesting because if they follow the same rule set, right? Because Mario Kart's had this rule set up until this point. It's always four new cups worth of tracks or courses, brand new, like from the ground up redesign, and then 4 cups full of retro courses. So whatever and they all utilize the new gimmick of what the game's trying to do. So I guess we'll just have to see what else they can do in terms of gimmicks, because I don't think you can push this game any further. Well, there is one bit you can push it further, but at that point, it's not Mario Kart anymore. So,
all right.
It's I'm talking like adding in actual other Nintendo characters other than Mario.
Ooh, oh yeah, this talk, I love it.
I think
the Super Smash Kart.
Exactly. Well, I mean, think about it. Look at the Hyrule stage, or look at the Hyrule course and the Animal Crossing course. Like those are really, and the F-Zero ones. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Splatoon's battle course, yeah. Excite Bike, come on.
Yeah, they have everything.
Not to mention that they've already had crossovers with another game too, Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, well, yeah,
on Mario Kart 7, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like They can definitely do it. It'd be fun.
They
I
could
would
have done
love
a
to
Kirby
have
course.
a Kirby. Yup.
Yes.
Like, a Kirby designed course would be cool. A course based on like Fire Emblem would be crazy.
Oh my god.
Like, that's what I'm saying. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, they could do so much with this now if they went that route for the next game.
Give Marth that cycle.
Wait, what'd you say, Mark? I'm sorry.
Just make it a Fire Emblem course and call it 3 laps.
3 laps.
I like the way you think, Mark. I like the way you think.
Give my boy Ike that like cycle real quick.
Let me get that Xenoblade Chronicles course, bro.
I drift for my friends.
I drift for my friends. Let me get a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 course where you're like driving through the Titans. Yeah, that would be so sick.
That whoa.
Have More Ordained as the background theme, just playing the whole time. Just
but it's like super jazzy.
Oh yeah. I'm looking up at my Smash shelf right now. A Pokemon course would be crazy.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying.
They could have done something with essentially it's just Pokemon Snap, but you're like driving actually. See, look, we're just throwing ideas out here. Like they don't have even like they could be listening in. Nintendo just
another course, please.
F-Zero feels like a given.
More they already have F-Zero.
I would say add more F-Zero. In fact, just call it F-Zero.
Actually, as a matter of fact, just put F-Zero, like make it F-Zero. Just don't even.
In fact, just move every character into like the F-Zero games instead.
Yeah, Mark, they have Mute City and Big Blue from F-Zero in Mario Kart 8 already.
Yeah, so they're almost there at that point.
and the worst part is they actually go through the F-Zero lore because Big Blue has water in the course.
Oh my god.
Which makes sense because Big Blue is a water planet in F-Zero. Like, it's genius. Why didn't they do that in the first place? Not even actual F-Zero uses the water functions.
You know, I think when we talk about like just a whole collaboration, it makes sense to do Super Smash Kart because like literally we have pilots in other games. Like the whole Star Fox crew can be thrown in there.
Yeah. Star Fox literally is in F-Zero. It's like I think it's canonically like tied.
Or at least if anything, there is that character.
Yeah, there's literally James McCloud, Fox's dad, as a human, not as an actual animal.
It's like a parallel universe.
Yeah, parallel universe. But his dad is a racer in F-Zero. It's like, get out, dude. Like, but a Star Fox track would be sick, mind you. Now that I think about it, make it all flight, make it Krazoa Palace, and then just make it Star Fox Adventures.
You know, that could be the next thing. They could just have. Instead of like just using a glider, just be like make the carts just a little tiny thing to like fly in just momentarily. It's like All Stars Transform. Yeah, they could do that. They can do that. I mean, yeah.
What's another? A Metroid course. Ooh.
Oh my god, I'd love to see. They can obviously like add in Zero Suit Samus to be the one piloting. What if it's like the full mech Samus and she still has her arm cannon?
Oh my god,
she can't really like turn it.
Ooh, a Pikmin course would be cool too. Just like you're just shrunken down and everything's just big around you.
Oh, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids gimmick.
Yeah, grounded, I guess. Yeah. Yo, $1 million ideas right here, dude. We fit court. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about that one. Maybe not that one. But
the balance board can now become something you can drive on. You just have to shift your weight just a little bit. You gotta do it like a Michael Jackson one too to accelerate.
I also wish if it's gonna be another Mario Kart on the next one. I wish they would lean a little bit heavier into the actual theming of certain games. Like, have a new Donk City track. Why is that not in here? You know, like make a course based on games. Like, we have why did it take 8 games to get I'm sorry, 7, because it was in Mario Kart 7. Why did it take 7 games to get a Mario Brothers 1 inspired course? That makes no sense. Like Piranha Plant Slide is the only course in this entire game or series that's based on Mario 1 with like the bricks and the 8-bit look.
You know, I'm really curious as to what Game & Watch course would look like. Like,
Yo.
what is...
Yo.
I don't know, just... Yeah. We're just throwing ideas out here, like...
No, I'm not saying third parties, right? Like, I wanted to, like, I'm sure strictly Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But,
I guess technically speaking, yeah. Well, if anything, maybe like add more Splatoon, like, racing courses. Like, I could see that.
yeah, because Splatoon didn't even get a course in this game. They got a battle course instead. Which is funny, because it's literally a 1-for-1 recreation of Urchin Underpass. But the point is, like, it didn't even get an actual race course. It was just for battle.
Yeah, and they literally have, like, 3 Splatoon games to, like, really pick off from. The tracks in those ones would, like, music tracks would be kind of crazy to hear too.
Yeah. So, you know,
man, dude. Yeah, super. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, you either come up with Mario Kart like 9 and it just has like a whole new gimmick and there might be a little bit of more crossovers, or you just go all out and just do it like a Super Smash Brothers like kart game. And it would sell money.
I will say the hard part, right, would be, and we're going to, I guess it'll be back into this conversation, right? Backwards compatibility. What's the point of a new Mario Kart if I can already play this on the new system?
So, okay. So yeah, they would have to.
That, and same with Smash Brothers. What's the point of a new Smash Brothers if I can still play Ultimate with its 80-something characters?
That's true.
On the next system.
So it has to be Smash Kart. It has to be Smash Kart.
Or it has to be something uniquely different to where I'm like, I can see both of these coexisting. Right? Because I literally can't think of anything else.
Gotcha.
But that's also like hard because I want backwards compatibility. But then the problem is I understand why they wouldn't want to do it because of reasons like this.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo is very much a company that makes a 1 game per series per generation. So like this is, well, I mean, I say that in Mario Kart 8 since the Wii U, but you know, I digress. It really is this generation's Mario Kart.
It's certainly changing for sure. Like if I can really imagine, they could really just do like an updated. I mean, granted, though, Smash Brothers Ultimate still looks pretty good. So the only thing would be like maybe just to update the game so it could run smoother on like a hypothetical Super Nintendo Switch, and then you know that could still like run on. And then Mario Kart 8, it already has its like Switch ports, so therefore maybe they would want to move forward with like a new one to make it a little bit more willing. Because granted, though, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does sell still, but I think a new one would probably be overdue at that point, because I think having like a Super Nintendo Switch port or of that, because that'd be kind of ridiculous, or just relying on the backwards compatibility, those sales will eventually just kind of drop at a certain point, unless they promote it. Unless they promote it big time.
So I don't know. It's interesting to find out, because backwards. This is the first, like I said, like I keep telling everybody, this is the first time in a long time that Nintendo has the actual like library to back up, to have a reason to have backwards compatibility, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a fresh new like reset. These games are like selling like crazy, like since NES time selling. Like it's also on top of that, it's a lot of Nintendo's legacy exists on the Switch. A lot of it. It's not all of it. I wish there was a little bit more. But if you know, generally speaking, if you don't own a Nintendo console and you wanted to jump into Nintendo's history, the Switch is not a bad place to do that.
It's everywhere. Like there's so many titles like currently on the Switch, and not just
in some shape or form. Yeah,
in some shape or form. Yeah. Which makes me wonder. Like this is just all hypothetical, because honestly, I'm in that I'm in that same mindset of just continuing to like move up to the next console, maybe have backwards compatibility. But what if they still want to, I guess, continue to promote it on the Nintendo Switch while they have a new console out there? Because that's kind of what we were seeing with Xbox and PlayStation for quite a bit now. Granted, granted though, that there is, you know, COVID, that was like also a reason as to the kind of like delays of the new consoles, as well as, you know, the support of like pre-existing platforms with the current one. So PlayStation 4, Xbox One are still supported to a certain extent. And Nintendo might actually follow suit with this, if not adopted now, maybe later, you know?
I like this idea though. I like that if the console does have backwards compatibility, they would have to actually think about what's the next entry in these franchises. Like they can't just say, "Oh, well, we're going to force you to buy this one because it's the only one that's on this platform."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they have to actually try to give me a reason to have both coexisting on the same ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, I think what they could do with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? If it's the next system, you know, it's not a new version of the game. That would be kind of crazy. But if it's anything like smart delivery on Xbox, if this game could just be 4K and then 60 frames the whole time, including 4-player split screen, all right,
Easy.
that's an easy upgrade. That's nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's just enough.
No, it makes too much sense.
It makes sense
Nintendo
though.
make sense. I understand that.
It makes too much
But
sense.
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, if they were just 60 frames,
60 frames, maybe like update to 4K. That's it.
1080 and maybe 1080 at least because they're not even 1080. But
oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
2K, please.
Well, like you know, like that kind of like upgrades for these existing games, and then we get new games specifically for that console where they're actually trying to push like the hardware itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably what would be good. Yeah, Nintendo Kart makes more and more sense as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Kart makes more and more sense, like because there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason to have a new kart game.
Yeah.
But one that has to be able to not overshadow or at least be like next to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in some shape or form.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I can't see people, you know, this is the Wii to Wii U, right? Like, why would I want to upgrade to the Wii U when I already have the Wii?
Mm-hmm.
And there's already like so many games. It's a casual mindset, mind you.
Yeah. We should also like pay attention to like other like kart clones that have been released over the past couple of years. I think the more recent one was like Disney's like racing game, which I mean,
Speedway?
Yes. And granted though, some people would say like it's good, decent, but there's always going to be that comparison to Mario Kart in most cases.
Oh, I'm sorry, Disney Speedstorm. There you go.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that's going to happen even with on Nintendo's same platform. There's going to be that comparison to Mario Kart. So either it's just going to be like the natural like successor, or really is a spin-off with a whole new set of like mechanics that make it separate and also equally as engaging, which I think Nintendo can do. But I'm not sure if they want to do that or, you know, make that Mario Kart 9, you know.
I only really like two other like kart games that are not Mario Kart, right? Like it's like Crash Team Racing series is good, and the Sonic and All Stars Racing series is good. Other than that, like people try.
People try.
Yep, people will try, but Nintendo is always going to be the victor here.
It's just crazy. Do you think it's just a legacy thing at that point? Well, actually, no, it's actually really good. So, like, wait a minute.
I think it's a years of refinement.
Oh yeah.
Like you play, even if you compare it, like let's say Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, like the most recent one, and Team Sonic Racing, like right now. Mario Kart still feels the most accessible and the most fun to play.
Yeah.
It's the most refined compared to those three. You know, one is a remake of a PS1 game.
Right.
With mechanics taken from a PS2 game. And then the other one is, I don't want to say downgraded, that's a little too mean, but it's a lesser version of like Sonic, of their previous game, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed.
Yeah.
So it's Mario Kart just keeps improving itself more and more mechanically.
Gotcha.
You know that 8's been out for so long that now that it's ending feels very surreal.
It's true. Very. And I thought this is a feeling I had with Smash, but now that it's Mario Kart, it kind of hits a little harder. Because it's like, man,
that's it.
We've been playing Mario Kart 8 for 10 years. That's
ridiculous.
It's
absolutely
absurd.
Ridiculous, yeah. But it's been getting new content for 10 years. Like that's the crazy part.
feel like Smash easily could have done the same thing if it wasn't for the licensing shit.
That's
100%.
but you know
100%.
what?
Yeah.
You know what though? I think Smash could have kept going, and personally, to make it easier, I know it's controversial because everybody thinks Smash Brothers. Oh man, who's gonna get it next? It could be anybody. If they really wanted to just do it, just make it Nintendo characters. Like make some obscure ones,
I
but
mean,
have easier access to them.
I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time,
Yeah,
I will say that just that factor of never knowing who's gonna get in is one of the most exciting things about Smash DLC.
which is why it's hard. Which is why it's hard to just sit here and say that because yeah, they could make a Fighters Pass 3, but if it's all Nintendo characters, people are gonna be like, it's kind of mid, depending on the character, right?
That heavily depends on the character.
Yeah, heavily depends on the characters. But I'm saying like easier licensing, just get it from the source. Why even go out of your way?
Yeah.
Like they chose to make Geno a costume instead of actually
Dude.
putting it in.
Oh, okay. Well, Geno's actually hard to do. He's Square.
True.
Geno's a bad example because he is owned by Square. He's not a Nintendo character.
Yeah. They were able to like get the hands on like Final Fantasy VII characters, and that's kind of
Yeah.
just
Geno,
the big two.
Geno and Mallow from Mario RPG. It's that the licensing for that game is weird, which is why the remake. By the way, that's next Friday. I'm really excited. The remake is surreal because it has to have been done between Nintendo and Square Enix. They both own the rights to those games or to that game.
Looks like Geno might be coming to Smash sooner or later.
Hey man, I would be really hyped. I'd be really hyped. Hey, look, Yoko Shimomura is already a composer on Smash Brothers. There's no reason she can't do her own music for the game. She did it with Mario and Luigi, and Kingdom Hearts. Like she can do it.
This is starting to like kind of, I don't think it's trying to like lean towards like Sakurai having some input, but Sakurai is still like an entity out there.
I mean, Sakurai did say like if they want to do Smash again, he did say, "I'm down."
I think
almost reluctantly.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, okay.
I think the problem is again, just like Mario Kart. Where do you go from there?
I say update. Like I guess.
I think Triple KO had like a really good thing to say about it. They said they were talking about Max, Justin Wong, and Matt McMuscles. They were talking about it, and really, the only thing they could do is make the gameplay completely different. And I'm talking like mechanically something new and fresh.
I hear I say, but Ultimate's honestly, Ultimate is the best feeling Smash there's ever been.
I mean, certainly, sure. I mean,
depending on who you ask, yeah, I'm in that camp. I agree.
Yeah, same.
It's got the quickness of Melee with the smooth controls of 4.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think for me personally, I think the way they would want to go about it is just to like improve on the performance because it is on the Switch, and
maybe even introduce rollback.
Rollback, bro. Oh, dude, you have to start that from the ground up. Like that's the ground up work.
But
Oy.
No, Mark's correct. I think it is one of the best Smash games. Like, period. It is my favorite Smash game, but there's a lot of things they could still do. Right?
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: if it's just Smash Ultimate again on the next console, but they actually add new modes, I am mad. Give me like a melee style adventure mode. Give me
Smash Run, please. That's all I want to say.
I'm shook Smash Run didn't even make it in this one. Smash Run on this console makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have a Kirby's Air Ride style mode. There it is, Smash Run. Like, why was that not in there? 4-player split screen, and we could just... I don't get it. Hell, just put... What's the other one? Smash Tour? I don't care. Just throw it in there.
just do it.
You want to call it Ultimate, make sure it actually has everything from Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the stages. They didn't put every one of the classic stages.
Mm-hmm.
There's still older stages that are missing. Like, we could still throw those in.
This is true.
So they can make another version of Ultimate that actually has more content. They can. It just wouldn't be character-wise, I think.
No, I can get behind that. If anything, yeah, I still say performance is like a really important thing, especially if you make like another console. And you want to bring Smash Brothers Ultimate over, I got no problems with that as long as they like update the performance. But I also agree with that. Add more new modes because at the very least they have control over that.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But also, yeah, performance is big. I mean, it's a fighting game. It should run 60 frames.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2 for Switch.
Didn't
I'm
the
looking at you.
previous one actually ran 60?
60 frames.
Jesus.
It dips here and there, but it was playable.
Okay.
It does what it needs to do for 1v1s the most. I think once you actually play the 4-player matches, it becomes a little oof.
It's more party. It's more of the party.
It's definitely
focus.
more for party, but it works and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not two. They capped it to 30 frames on Switch, and I was like, for a fighting game?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's no bueno.
And it depends on the game.
I mean, certainly, if it
Give
really
me a fighting
demands
game that's good at 30 frames, Mark, right now.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying 30 frames at its peak, but I'm saying 30 frames and it'll do.
It depends. I think the Naruto, like, okay, well, that's based. Let me rephrase what I'm about to say.
What you about to finish?
I think, because I was gonna say the anime like fighting games, like the arena
Storm
fighting games.
Yeah. Okay.
So like Storm, yeah, those are 30. Well, back in the day they were 30. Now they're 60. But
say Naruto to Boruto Connections, I believe, is going to be 60 frames.
Yeah,
let's go.
On modern consoles, I think on Switch it's still 30.
Damn.
Well, that's because the Switch has hardware limitations.
Yeah.
Let's go Super Nintendo Switch.
Well,
I'm in your corner.
But that's the same thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Bottle.
Oh.
The original PS3 version was 30 frames, and I enjoyed it. The
Good,
new
good.
version, depending on the modern consoles, is 60 frames. The Switch version is still 30.
Okay. All right.
Which, again, the game was originally designed with 30 in mind.
But yeah, sorry, what was that, Mark?
I said, and again, that's just unfortunately due to the Switch's hardware limitations.
Yeah.
Let's go Super Nintendo Switch. I'm begging.
I'm begging over here. We're over here.
And then
the SNS.
The SNS.
I'm telling you, that's the Nintendo drops that name. It is the most fire name, like period.
Super
what about
Nintendo.
the social networking sites?
Yo.
Hmm?
SNS. That's legit.
Yeah. No, that's why I said yo. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no. Like, I guess it just depends on the fighting game. You're right, Mark. But for a platform fighter, 60 frames is needed. Like, and unfortunately, from what I've heard, I haven't played the Switch version of Nick All Stars 2 yet, but I heard the Switch version is rough. But it is a fantastic game from what I heard on modern platforms.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you get it on PS5 or Series X, that game is smooth. Apparently it's like almost comparable to Smash Brothers. That's how good it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
I was like, damn.
That means Nintendo's gotta be cooking next time.
Nintendo's like, ooh, I'm about to go off.
I think it's because they added special, like my new favorite mechanic in that is special meters, like the slime meter. I think that's cool. It lets me enhance moves. It's like a fighting game, like a real like arcade style fighting game.
The slime
meter.
Yes,
a slime meter. It lets It lets you enhance certain moves.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. But all this was long-winded to say, yes, I think whatever Nintendo's next console is going to do, I think backwards compatibility needs to be there.
Also going to need to eliminate the hardware
limitations.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe
But
just because well, the Switch doesn't necessarily need high specs. However, it is definitely hurting them to what games can be on the Switch.
Yeah, I've said it before. I think if the Super Nintendo Switch ends up, all it needs to do, Mark, simple. I mean, the baseline upgrade. All it needs is to be low end 4K on the dock. And I'm talking like PS4 Pro levels of 4K. It doesn't have to be, I'm not expecting them to hit PS5 or Series X. That's not going to happen. I think people need to have.
They might be able to hit the low end of it, but they won't be able to
1440p. 1440p is bare minimum.
Honestly, acceptable. Yeah.
But I think it'll be close.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? Like 1440p is the bare minimum, like, and low end 4K.
I agree.
It's not the 200 or the 2 something. I forgot what the actual P is. Huh?
As long as it runs.
Yeah. And performance. It needs to have better performance on that front. I actually don't even care if the resolution is 4K. It just needs to be able to run games better.
100%.
I don't care if it could be 1080p, dog, but it needs to run 60 frames. Like that's the big thing.
I get it.
But like baseline level, that would be cool. Yeah.
I also think
and 1080p on the screen.
The hardware limitations, again, I also think that's also what's been giving Pokemon such a hard time, because on the PC they've been able to put 60 frames on it with the PCs, and it runs like a dream, and it looks a lot better.
Yeah, but also I also have to like kind of like look over into Pokemon Company / Game Freak and see like what are they doing with their mainline games? What like what are the resources actually being put into that? Because I gotta question that too.
That's a good question.
Yep, because Nintendo, it's already been proven Nintendo will delay the game if they have to.
Yeah, they'll do
it. It's not Nintendo the one that's telling them to rush it. Because remember, Pokemon's very tricky because remember it's owned by 2 things. It's like publishing rights is owned by Nintendo, but
the game
it's
is
not
owned by Game Freak.
Exactly. The game is developed by Game Freak, but it's not owned by Game Freak. It's owned by the Pokemon Company.
It's kind of tricky over there.
Yeah, the Pokemon series is the craziest licensing. Like it's
just you'd think that Game Freak and Pokemon Company are one and the same. That's what you'd think.
No, because Game Freak can develop their own games. They've done it.
They've done it before, and with varying success. Like
varying successes. Like I think Giga Break or Alternate's cool. Drill Dozer's good. Pulse Man's good. But then you get games like Little Town Story or something like that. That one's
Little
like
Town Hero or something like that.
Yeah. Good music, but it's mediocre.
Work in a while.
Yep. It's mediocre, but it's good. I mean, it's whatever. It's like it's not the best game in the world, but it's also not the worst. Like you could do worse. Trust me. Golem and King Kong exist this year. You can do worse.
Oh Jesus! You got a rebuttal? Mark? I think that's the Nintendo ninjas. They found him.
The Nintendo ninjas showed up and got him.
They should cut him off.
Connections.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's a couple of ideas for next franchise games that they could make big on the next console. Mario Party,
for sure.
That's always easier to do than others.
We've seen Star Fox.
Oh,
exactly.
Since Wii U,
Mark, Star Fox. Now you're talking. Now you're talking like a Nintendo fan. You're talking about franchises that nobody will ever get. So it's fine.
I mean, what else? I'm trying to think like what else they haven't.
F-Zero,
Chibi Robo,
Custom Robo.
Oh my God,
Jesus!
Mark. Oh, just tickled me. It tickled me in a weird way, dog. Yes, I fucking love Custom Robo. That's my F-bomb for the day. I love Custom Robo.
The GameCube one was the best one.
It's the only one. No, I lied. We got a DS one, which is also as good. But the GameCube one is our first one in America. It's number 4, actually.
I argue the GameCube one is superior.
Have you played the DS one? Custom Robo Arena?
I looked at the gameplay and I was like, the GameCube one still looks better.
Well, okay.
There's also looks. Sure.
The gameplay, because the overworld is what you're talking about, right? Because the thing is, the actual battles look the same. It's well, the DS is lower end than GameCube, so you're not going to get as good as 3D models. But here's the thing, Mark. GameCube Custom Robo is Custom Robo 4 or 5. I don't remember which one.
That's right. I forgot the translations of the names are different.
Yeah, we are Custom Robo 1 is Custom Robo 4 or 5 in Japan because they have been getting Custom Robo since N64. And those games, they all have the same like gameplay style. The overworld's like this overworld map. You walk around, you do like side quests, but the actual battles are in that arena. The DS one just happens to use 2D sprites like Pokemon when you're in the overworld, and then when you go into battle, it becomes a 3D. I think both games are really good. They're the only 2 custom robo games we ever got in America, but oh, that kind of hurts my feelings. Anyways, the point is they're really good. Both games are really good, but I agree with you, Mark. I do like the GameCube one more nostalgia-wise. I remember playing the ever-living hell out of that game. I love it.
It's a great game.
It's a damn good game. I wish they would bring over the 64 ones in English so I can like, experience those.
I would. There's obviously, there's probably fan translations on ROMs and shit.
Oh, I'm sure there is one that exists. They actually put both custom robos on the NSO in Japan. So,
which is like,
of course they did.
Oh yeah.
Why would you hurt us?
I have them on my Switch. I can literally pull it up right now. It's just I can't read it.
I have them.
I can't read them. I can play them. I can tell you gameplay wise that wow, GameCube. They got it right the first time. Like it's pretty like they're older, obviously, right? They run at a lower frame rate, but for N64, those are good games.
They're pushing it to the limit.
Push it to the limit.
It kind of feels like how Smash 64 is to Melee. Like it kind of feels like that.
Okay.
Where they already had it right the first time, it just is improved on GameCube. So it's good.
64 Smash 64 when?
Oh, dude. Well, that's another thing too. Like talking about Super Nintendo Switch is like
if we didn't get Smash on there, trust me, or like you said, if we didn't get Smash on there, it ain't happening because we also still have yet to get the Pokemon games, any of them.
Yeah,
we got spin-offs, but not mainline,
which is weird.
You think they are just?
It's not weird. It's not weird at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Pokemon would really like to do something with that.
Yeah, Game Freak.
The only reason I could see them not doing that is remakes. That's it.
Fair, yeah, that's true. But also they could actually just sell that as a whole thing, a whole bundle.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, Mark, and tell you that's not true either because Link's Awakening is a Game Boy game that got remade.
Yeah,
and they also threw Link's Awakening Deluxe on the Game Boy app. So
I don't even mean for money grubbing purposes. I just mean for they don't want to put the old ones on there because they could remake the new ones. But then again, I'm not even saying that necessarily because they make money off it. I'm just saying because it just gives you a better experience with the remake sometimes.
Sure, but I think I think we talked about this on the last podcast. That I think that there's a remake and the original game can coexist in the same thing. I like to experience both.
That's what the Master Chief Collection did, where you had the button
exactly
to its old
things like the Master Chief Collection, things like having both Link's Awakenings on Switch, things like what was I gonna say? There's another example I brought up. I can't remember, but the point is, the fact that on PlayStation 5 you can play Resident Evil 4 Remake, but you can also play the original Resident Evil 4 if you really wanted to.
Although, granted, there was a long, huge gap between the releases of those ones, and that point, 4 has been, how notable 4 is, got many ports before an actual remake.
No, sure, but but it is a port of the original game.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Yeah, so it's another thing is Super Mario Party Superstars is kind of like a mix of the Mario Party 1 to 3. But Mario Party 1 to 3 are already on the NSO, so it's like
double dipping. Yeah, we could expect that from other franchises. They'll do that. Pokemon's weird because they got money, but it's not just from the games at this point. So
and while I think
a lot of it's for advertising and merchandise.
Yeah, I mean, look at this card. It looks awesome.
This guy.
Look at this guy. Sorry.
All these cards.
It looks really good. I'm sorry.
But I think it's interesting to see I want them both to coexist. Now, here's the tough part though, Mark. Here's the tough part. You want to know why Pokemon hasn't been on here yet? Because Nintendo made the decision to have the Game Boy app as the $20 like tier.
Oh yeah.
And not part of the $50 tier for the expansion pack.
You think that Pokemon was like, oh no. No.
Pokemon Company ain't dumb. They're
Hey,
not just gonna throw you Pokemon for free like that.
So they're just like, yeah, no, you could have done something, but you just put it into low tier.
Yeah, Nintendo likes to mark their games with specific values. You ever seen the virtual console prices? Like NES games are all worth $5 a piece. Super, they value them depending on generation. Like NES,
the physical copies of those games are worth so much.
Oh yeah, no. We're not talking physical. I'm talking like virtual console back in the day, digital. NES games, $5 a piece. That's how low they were. They like price those. Super Nintendo, $8 a piece. N64 is $10 a piece. And then they didn't do GameCube, but Wii, $20 a piece.
That's true. That was pretty cheap.
Yeah. So they value them a little differently, but then you get to the Wii U and 3DS era where they started valuing them depending on the game. So for instance, Super Nintendo games are still $8, but Earthbound, now you're not getting that for $8, homie. You paying $12 or $10 for that, I think. You paying the extra premium for that. Earthbound Beginnings on NES, that's not $5 all, that's $7. You better pay up. The Pokemon games on 3DS, those are not the $4 they were charging for Game Boy games. Those are $10.
Because we're on 15.
No, they're $10 a piece. And there's 3 versions of each generation, so there's 6 Pokemon games on there.
That's where it is.
$60. You better pay up.
Better pony up.
Yep, they know.
Pay them dollars. Also, gentlemen, I have to sign off because I have to go to the grocery store.
Oh, okay. Real quick, Mark, we were going to talk about this, but Attack on Titan ending. How do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, I can't do that. Go ahead, quick.
Very, very well done.
Yes.
And they let Isayama go back and do something he wanted to do that he didn't have time to do in the original, and I think that was a fantastic idea.
Great. That's, you know what? Yeah, I really liked it too.
And I think that what I said will be coming true in the fact of this was so good for Attack on Titan, and I think it is going to go down in the classics category, much like Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, and Code Geass.
Damn.
And Phil, I would recommend you watch all of it because it is great.
I've watched up to season 2.
Okay.
Oh, there's so much more you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot more now.
Yeah, I know of the manga and I know of like how it ends. So I want to see how they translated all that.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's so good.
So
yeah, Mark, go ahead and do your thing.
I will definitely look into that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go to the grocery store. Gotta get ready. I gotta put on pants.
I gotta put on pants.
This guy.
He's me. He's me. Actually, I got shorts on, but you get it.
I have pants on, but
are you sure about that?
This has been me, Mark.
All right, bye, Mark.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
I think bringing up the older games is a good thing because again, it ties in the backwards compatibility. You know, like why would they introduce Game Boy and Game Boy Advance so late in the Switch's life and not have that carry over? There's no way. Which actually ties in to another topic this week. The Switch sales.
The Switch
sales. Financial reports.
Yes. Real quick. I also want to jump into the Attack on Titan ending since like
good.
Yeah.
It's fun. I can't speak about it, but
I just want to say it's phenomenal. It's like it honestly the finale reeks of that like final boss like set that you get for video games. It's like they do it so perfectly well, and you know the revelations like throughout the course of the series all get like tied up so perfect. Well, I'm not sure so perfectly, but because I think when you go through like seasons 1 through like 2, 3, 2 was kind of slow for me, but it all kind of the way that they kind of write everything together, it kind of comes together as like a whole narrative, and once you get like those actual revelations, that's when everything starts to like reel in. You start thinking about previous stuff that goes on from the previous stuff and seeing how it all ties together. It's pretty good, especially when you talk about like, you know, how the powers kind of worked there. It's a lot of spoiler territory at that point, so I'm not going to say that. But ultimately, it was really good. So, 100% recommended for a lot of people. That's definitely something you should like at least watch within like your lifetime, because a lot of production has been made for this one, and it was really just a lot of preparations, like just written out before the anime actually like came out. So this is crazy good. This is what I want to say.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to actually finish Attack on Titan. I really should.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, yeah, the financial reports, dude.
Oh yes. Okay.
Have you seen?
I've seen a little bit of it. As far as, but I haven't really deep dived as far as like how does it compare with everything else like on that same listing. I'll look at that.
Just the keynotes to take, like just the key takeaways.
Uh.
Tears of the Kingdom knocked out Splatoon 2 from top 10.
Oh. Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom is already at 20 million copies sold.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
With Breath of the Wild still being higher, obviously, but it's been out longer, so that makes sense.
Mm.
But Splatoon 2's on knocked out of the top 10. And New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is now number 10 on the dot, instead of it being number 9. With Tears of the Kingdom taking number 9. So let me pull up that actual
I'm trying to find
top
it
10. Yeah. Got you real quick. Let me see. I will say that there's some crazy sales numbers, and it all comes back full circle. Let me see. Hold up. Scrolling. Okay. Let me see.
Hmm.
Let me see. I have a bunch of articles in front of me. Hold up.
Okay, gotcha. Because I'm just trying to find it.
All right, I got you. So here are your top 10 best-selling games as of September 2023.
Okay.
For first party, mind you. Number 10, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 16.70 million.
Mm.
I do think that game is going to get knocked off by the next financial reporting, though.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a minute. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is at 19.50 million.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Super Mario Party is at number 8 and 19.66 million.
I see.
Number 7 is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep, for 23.23 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield is next at 26.02 million.
Okay, that makes sense.
Number 5 is Mario Odyssey for 26.95 million. Number 4 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at 31.15. And the top 3 have not changed at all. Number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 32.44.
All right.
Animal Crossing is number 2. New Horizons, obviously, 43.38 million.
Jeez.
Almost half 100 million. Like, that's crazy. And of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 1 with it's inching to 60, but it's at 57.01 million copies.
That's whoa.
That is,
oh my god.
That is so crazy, dude. That game just keeps going.
They really did it.
In terms of other games that are big momentum right now, Pikmin 4 has sold 2.62 million units since its release. Here's the thing for Pikmin. That's big. That's huge for Pikmin. Pikmin does not get those kind of sale numbers. Like that's very big, considering that Pikmin 4 is the same team at Nintendo that made Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Wonder. So the fact that that team has made 3 big hits this year is pretty good. Also, the Switch is now sitting at 132.46 million units sold.
All right.
It's catching up, but it is the second best-selling Nintendo console. It's right behind the DS. The DS is at 154 million. So if it beats the DS, the Switch is the best-selling Nintendo like console of all time. Right? Like that is just crazy to think about, really. Another key takeaway, I'm trying to find it. There it is. Mario Brothers Wonder. This is the game I think is going to knock Mario Brothers U off the top 10 eventually. Do you want to know why?
It's doing crazy numbers upon release.
Dog, the game's only been out for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's already at 4.3 million.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Remember that whole conversation we had? 2D Mario sells. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There's your proof. Like Nintendo, like they know 2D Mario makes money. It prints money for them. 100%. So really, it's like, man, they just it's gonna be in the top 10. Mario Wonder really is gonna be one of the it's confirmed to be the fastest selling Mario game ever.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, a big thing of contention is that the Mario movie helped the sales.
Oh, of course it did.
Yep. The positive impact on Super Mario games because of the Mario movie. Global sell through of the 5, like their percentages went up 1.3 times more than last year for Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, Mario Maker 2, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and get this, Mario Kart Tour and Super Mario Run have seen an increase in downloads for mobile. I thought Mario Run was dead.
Nah, it's only the beginning.
That is the just craziest thing. So to say Nintendo is doing good, it would be an understatement. They're doing incredible right now.
Which is why I'm like, let's go Super Nintendo Switch. We got the funding for it.
Yeah, they also are confirming right now that my favorite thing that they said this week is they want to reassure that what you've heard about rumors for Switch 2 are false, quote unquote. They're probably just saying that to keep the press off of them, but
yeah, yeah. There's too many things that have been said. Like, granted though, they are like piecing out from like other rumors and here and there, and not acknowledging the very specific ones that we have. But I mean, they always have to be careful about their wording because they'll never like outright deny certain things, but they have to keep it pretty vague. So
they also confirmed about that dual screen patent. Remember?
Oh, did they?
They confirmed that we applied for a patent knowing that the information would be made public. This does not necessarily mean we plan to equip this to future products, which we talked about. You know, of course, that's what a patent's for. It's just ideas that they may not use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May not. So yeah. Also, real quick side note: I see the Mario Kart like cow costume.
Oh my!
And someone's slowing it down as they're throwing it back. I was like, "Yay! No!" That's so wild.
Yep, I see that. I'm out.
My God.
There's also one more thing I wanted to pull from this.
Oh,
I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, Nintendo is confirming 2 things. This is the big one, and that's why I've been talking about so much backwards compatibility. It's about your Nintendo account.
Oh.
And this is what's driving the internet into a frenzy, like thinking, oh no, backwards compatibility is 100% guaranteed. While I think I am in the camp that it is going to happen, I don't want to say it's 100%. You know what I mean? But they're saying prior to the introduction of Nintendo account, it was not easy to maintain users' information across platform generations, including details such as their software purchases and gameplay records. The introduction of Nintendo account has made it possible to tie a user's history to their personal account. This will be the foundation upon which Nintendo can maintain a lasting relationship with consumers.
Yeah, that lines up.
So it's, you know, like there is going to be backwards compatibility of some sort. Whether it's digital only or physical remains to be seen.
Fair.
And then the final part is the one that gets me every time, is that Nintendo plans to support the Switch essentially until further notice.
Yeah.
Which, well, duh.
Yeah. It's just like that doesn't really mean too much right now.
That will, like, duh. Of course they are. It's the Switch. Like, Nintendo doesn't just outright abandon their other console unless you're the Wii U. But not even then, they had Breath of the Wild on Wii U. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So I don't know. They're not gonna just outright abandon it. You know, there's gonna be those releases. Like, I'm thinking this is gonna be like 3DS, where we get a bunch of remakes toward the end of the Switch's life, which is already happening. And then from there, you know, you get new experiences on the next console, which I'm down for both, especially if the next console is backwards compatible, because then I don't feel like I'm buying for something else. I'm in there. I'm good with that.
They just need to keep the Switch. That's what it is.
Basically, I love this ecosystem. You know, having the removal of like two separate ecosystems now and merging them together, it's been so perfect for them.
Yeah. Although I feel like if we're gonna continue Nintendo Switch and then a Super Nintendo Switch and keep those two systems alive, they're still the same like approach versus, you know, Wii and like DS.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like becoming that relationship that I might see happen. Or even just foresee happen, yeah. But, you know, we'll see.
And craziest part is this isn't even the big Nintendo news this week, but I think it's time to talk about it because it's the big news.
It is the big news. Wasn't it just like a really almost a nonchalant like announcement? Well, it wasn't really nonchalant, but
I believe it was because of the press conference. I believe it was because of the financial reports that they had to report it. They couldn't just like let it go.
Gotcha.
Miyamoto himself confirmed that he is developing a live action Legend of Zelda movie. There are some things in there we gotta point out and dissect, but for the most part, he announced it like he announced the Mario movie. Like, it was just kind of there.
Yeah. I gotta say, I've been waiting for this since IGN's like little spoof of it.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Been waiting for it. It's been 15 years?
Been a while.
Man.
No, it's been a while, yeah. It's been a long time. I do want to point out some details about it that we know so far. Let me see.
All right.
I just want to make sure I have the article up just in case. Just in case. But the movie is going to be produced by Miyamoto and Avi Arad. If anybody doesn't know who that is, Avi Arad is a producer at Sony Pictures. So here's the weird thing. Here's where I'm a little like weirded out, right? You would think Nintendo would have chosen Universal. Yeah. They already have a big partnership with the Mario movie, Nintendo World. You know what I mean? But this live action Zelda movie is going to be done through Sony.
They're not going to have a Zelda World.
Yeah. Well,
no.
It's weird. But so Avi Arad is actually the producer of almost all of the Marvel movies that aren't MCU.
Oh.
So Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Some of the older ones, like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, you know, Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy. He's been the producer for all that. Blade. You know what I mean? Like he's been the producer for all of these Marvel movies that aren't the ones that typically known.
That's true. Okay.
Okay. The director is going to be Wes Ball. And Wes Ball is actually known for directing the Maze Runner trilogy and the upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I've never seen any of the Maze Runner movies.
Yeah.
I apologize, Maze Runner fans. I don't know.
I can't say anything. I mean, I only seen like the first one. That was alright.
Oh, okay.
That was alright.
Oh, okay. We don't know who's in it yet. We don't know who's actually going to be participating in the film. We don't know what storyline it is willing to take. We don't know anything about the details. We just know that it's being produced by Nintendo. Miyamoto is the producer, one of the two producers, with Nintendo's name on it. Like, he's heavily focused on it. And then Avi Arad as Sony Pictures. And it is going to be distributed by Sony Pictures. Apparently, they are co-financing the movie. So
that's interesting.
Very, very much. I think it's just weird that they didn't choose Universal. Maybe there wasn't a good enough deal. Maybe it's because they didn't care about the live action part. I think Universal, they wanted them for Illumination.
Oh yeah. Which, I mean, that would have been great, but
I just feel like it's so weird. A live action Zelda is.
I mean, I think it's entirely possible, but the question is, like, why would they want to go for it like that? I'm not sure.
I'm cool with it.
Do you think they're trying to appeal for like a different demographic, slightly?
Maybe,
because I feel like, you know, the Mario movie seems to be a little bit more towards like kids, both in like the theming, but also because of, unfortunately, because it is just the animation aspect. Even though we're totally past that at that point, but you know, we're talking we're talking about like some mainstream stuff too.
You're talking about like family friendly, like it's
family friendly, like that's what like a lot of cool like animated animated works are like based off of, and what their demographic typically is. Although you can totally like appeal to like a larger audience than just kids, but live action seems that it can open the doors towards like everybody. That's my perspective of it.
It's going to be interesting to see. We're not going to see this movie anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true.
They announced this just like they announced the Mario movie. I am expecting this movie to show up late 2025, early 2026 at the latest.
Yeah. We're going to have different spotlights of it in 2 Nintendo Directs, as well as 1 Pacific Nintendo Direct focused on the Legend of Zelda movie. So
I won't even be surprised if they announce the actors like they did Mario.
Yeah. What if it's the same casting? But they couldn't.
I made that joke with Sephi, and she almost wanted to kill me when I said Chris Pratt is Link. I
No Sleep Till.
Oh my god, yo! Put No Sleep Till Brooklyn in that movie too, please. Please. I'm begging you.
No Sleep Till Hyrule.
Oh my god. But you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this
I'm so curious how they're going to adapt a lot of the different things. Obviously, you know, they would have to have some inklings of like Ganon as like an antagonist, whether they make him like an actual like person or like a monster of some sort. Kind of depends. I feel like they would I guess they could just try to like lean into like the traditional like Zelda lore stuff versus like what they're doing with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Although I feel like they would want to do that too, because it's a little bit more relevant and can tie into those 2 games. Therefore, you can like make sales for that. But
yeah,
I'm curious. I think I want to see exactly like how it will look as far as like a trailer. I think I just need to see a trailer. That's it.
Yeah, I need to see what it looks like. My other thing is story-wise, right? What game are you gonna pull that from?
Yeah,
I feel like personally, it's just gonna be its original story.
Yeah,
because like, this is Zelda. You can make an original story and then not have it tie to anything. They don't tie anyways.
that's true.
But I'm thinking
whether
you pull some story bits here and there from other games and just make one story.
I think that'd be like the best case scenario. I think they'll just have like a whole brand new approach to Zelda, as like a whole different sequence in like this timeline that we've all like kind of created, and they'll just take a lot of elements from previous ones because it just simply works like that. It's convenient that way, so they can actually like make it a live action and make that work. Because if I really think about it, like something like even Twilight Princess, for like as dark as it is, may not quite work as like a movie type of bit. Even like with like the tones of like losing the village or turning to like Wolf Link, like that kind of stuff. I don't sure if it would translate well as a movie. Whereas like if they were to take an original story now, that they can make it work like that.
Yep. Or is it based on like Breath of the Wild, where like it's that story archetype?
I can see that actually, kinda.
Who knows? Is it Green Tunic Link? Like,
oh, Green Tunic. Oh, they'll definitely have hints of that, but it would probably be one of those things where they'll have that as like a suit up thing at the very end, the climax of the movie, and that's when he dons on the green stuff. Otherwise, you might see him with a lobster shirt on.
Oh my god. I do know that people are already scared because that does mean if they're doing a live action movie, Link has to talk. I don't think there's any world we live in where Link cannot have dialogue in that movie. Mario isn't typically one to talk, but he has sound effects. Like he can talk.
Yeah. So that made sense.
Yeah. So, but Link has been always silent.
He's been silent. I mean, he's vocal, but he's never been like that. So yeah. I'm thinking about it. I think that you could go the extra mile, but I also believe that they might throw in an extra, just one line or two at the end too.
I don't know. We don't have much to talk about it because there's not much info, but I think I'm gonna have to pick up the Maze Runner trilogy and see how that looks.
Just to get a glimpse of it. Like, this is exactly how it's gonna play out.
I don't know about exactly, but yeah, like direction wise.
Let me get something from Ibrahim real quick. All I want Link in this movie is for Link to get a kiss from Zelda. Also, come on, Nintendo. It's been years. Link hasn't had his like moment. And I guess Mario technically did get like a kiss from Peach, but at that point,
the thing is, it's not. It depends on the Link in Zelda. Not all of them are like a relationship like that.
Yeah, I feel like the most like distant relationship that we've seen between characters, even though being like face to face, is probably like Twilight Princess, like Link and Zelda. That was definitely that was a much more professional relationship going on right there. And honestly, they could just go wherever they want with this one. So they really could make them like really close. They could also, I kind of imagine them being like fast friends, like in the movie. It's like, because like Link is literally just from like some other village in most cases, and Zelda's is the princess at all times.
Oh, so you're talking like Minish Cap and Skyward Sword style.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, like I mean, they could do that. Yeah, I can see one. Yeah, why not? Like, we can do that.
We're like they're best friends like for years, and then
like that could create some type of like dynamic. Although I don't think they'll really focus too much on that. They could, but I'm not sure. I think Mario struck a good idea. Well, I mean, granted that we're talking about Illumination and everything involved as far as the production of that one. That the relationship between like Mario and Peach was kind of developing there, but was definitely not the spotlight, and therefore it didn't really felt like a type of romance type of like side plot in that subplot.
I also don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways. Okay. The generation we live in, correct?
We live in a society.
That was the whole reason Peach wasn't the damsel in distress in the movie. It's why she isn't the damsel in distress in most Mario games nowadays.
This is true. I mean, I do not like. I think what's the appropriate wording I should say here? I like that particular approach now for like Peach, because we're like it's of the times now that we should not really be like trying to like go back to that. And then when we translate that to Zelda, it'll most likely be like a similar approach. That's what
I was gonna say. Do you translate that to Zelda? Because technically, she's not like it. The way they did it in Tears of the Kingdom was very tasteful, right? Like she's not really in distress.
Yeah, she's just doing her own thing. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
It's more like, but like she needs to be saved, yes, but it's not because she's held captive or anything.
It's actually, that's probably gonna be Link's line. The only thing he's gonna say is like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing." Sorry, man. So, I'm going home.
It just depends on how they handle that.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think we can like definitely separate like what their roles are going to be in the movie versus like how the relationships are going to develop. And I think it'll just be the same thing as Mario movie where it's like, there could be something, but it's like, that's definitely not the focus.
So we will find out.
Oh man,
but Jack Black as Ganondorf is going to be sick, bro.
Oh my god! Listen, I was wondering, like, is Jack Black going to be shredded in order to like to become Ganondorf? That would be the wildest thing.
Someone said Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson needs to be.
And what is he going to have? Like one of those eyebrow scenes?
Yeah. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson won't do it because he has a contract where he's not allowed to take too many hits to the face.
Yeah, you're right. So like all sorts like piercing like the forehead is not going to be like cutting it.
Yeah. The Rock cannot die in the movie. That's literally in contract. Like.
Oh yeah. What if they did like I mean, there's been different iterations. That'd be cool to see like a scenario. Granted, it would probably be better off as an episodic thing where like Ganondorf slowly becomes like an I don't want to say anti-hero, but like maybe there's just a temporary alliance because there's a bigger bad later on.
That'd be so weird.
That would be really weird. But that'd be all Triforce coming together.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. They do that, I'm walking out.
I'll be in. I'll be strapped in.
I'm just no.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm not doing that.
I'm totally open with the idea of like if they do it right, they unite all forces. I think that's just a better. I think that's a better thing. But if you want to make it darker, then definitely like, hey, like make Ganondorf like just like the menace as he is.
I guess we're gonna have to find out, dog.
Yeah, we'll just have to find out. This is like early like talks about it without any type of like direction given by trailer or whatnot. So we'll see. There's definitely some other things we could talk about aside from like this announcement of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also Nintendo related. I totally forgot what it was though. Let me see.
What was it?
Well, I guess we already talked about Mario Kart, and we talked about Zelda. We also talked about the financial reports. I think there was something else Nintendo related that was announced. If not, it was very minor. Maybe not. I don't think I actually had anything like Nintendo related.
They definitely put up a 5-minute overview trailer of Mario RPG, and
oh yeah, it is that time to start promoting it.
Yeah, let me tell you something right now. If you don't know anything about that game or have never seen most of the things in the game, don't watch that overview trailer. Go in blind.
100% then. Yeah.
Because that trailer does spoil some later things in the game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hell, it literally even teases it but spoils the plot of Mallow. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, I don't know anything, so I'm just going to leave that off table. That's good.
As someone who's beaten Mario RPG on Super Nintendo, like I know it's gonna happen, obviously, but I don't want anybody else to be ruined who's never played it. It's really good.
Yeah.
So definitely don't watch it. I'll just give you the quick details. It looks like Mario RPG.
Let's go. Just it looks nice. Everyone's got revitalized like memes of Yoshi. So there's that.
Yep. It looks like a very well made, complete up from the ground remake of Mario RPG,
which is still like a shock to just even like see that, Yeah, I'm still in disbelief. Same with Mario 1000-Year Door too. I guess more so RPG, maybe because of the Square Enix like bits here and there, but yeah.
We did find out who's developing it. It's Arte Piazza. Is that what it's called?
That sounds familiar.
It should be because they developed a lot of Dragon Quest games.
Okay.
So they are a Square Enix company, essentially.
All right.
Yeah. So they've had their hands on some of the older 3DS ports of Dragon Quest, and then they also helped out with Dragon Quest 11.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So essentially, you're in good hands. Like,
oh, I did want to talk about Dragon Quest like a little bit. Dragon Quest Monsters. You know what? When I saw this initially announced and they showed the gameplay and everything, I was not sold at all.
I'm assuming you've never played a Dragon Quest Monsters game.
Never. And
okay.
I was definitely just kind of like judging it based on like how it looks, how it like ran initially, and now I'm seeing like an updated trailer, and now it's kind of like a little bit more refined. Granted, though, I see the performance stuff like in the trailer as far as like the overworlds, how it slows down when you see like those gusts of winds and stuff like that. But otherwise, like the look of it's actually pretty good. So I'm hoping for the best for it.
I think if you, specifically you, Justin, were to play Dragon Quest Monsters, you would very much fall in love with that side series.
Okay.
It is essentially Dragon Quest's version of Pokemon.
That's all right.
That's how it's always been. Since Game Boy Color.
Okay.
So Dragon Quest Monsters, I have experience with Dragon Quest Monsters Joker on DS, and it was fantastic. It's literally probably the second best, like it's the best spin-off series of Dragon Quest. It's up there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I just don't know if I can be able to pick it up day one.
Yeah.
You know, because it comes out towards Christmas, and I'm always busy trying to get gifts and stuff, so that's not happening. But
100%, I get it.
I think it's cool, and I am really looking forward for it.
Yeah. And then I guess I should also tie this in to because we don't really have any other segment for it, but pickups actually.
I don't have any pickups this time. Okay. Actually, I have one pickup, but it's not something I can physically show.
Okay.
I'm just gonna talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. I'll go ahead and start since I like brought it
up.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this game for a while to get a sale on it, and it was initially shown as $40 like online. I usually follow notifications on Twitter just to say like, oh, this is on sale. You know, first party Nintendo games they don't really go on sale unless it's like the end of the year or something like that. So I saw this 40 on Walmart, checked it 46, and I was like, good enough. I will finally jump into it. It's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Let's go.
So we finally have this guy. And I'll finally be able to actually try this guy out like in full, because I've seen the Mystery Dungeon games like over the course, but I just never really followed through and bought like myself a copy of one. So.
Oh wait, so you've never even played one of the Mystery Dungeon games?
Probably very like vaguely, like the DS one, but yeah.
Oh.
Like this, like literally the OG of this one as like the DS one, which was like Blue Rescue Team, I recall.
Yeah.
But yeah, never had the opportunity.
Team, but
yeah, it's now an opportunity for me to actually like try them again, or try them out in full, I should say.
You will very much like that game. It's very good.
Yeah, because I know it's like other Mystery Dungeon games for sure, or I guess like whatever the series is that's been adapted for different works, similar to like
it's Mystery Dungeon. You're right. You're right on the terminology.
Okay.
Because technically it's Shiren the Wanderer, but as a brief, like overall, like thing, they call it the Mystery Dungeon series.
Okay. Well, I now have like an access point like for like this one, and I might look into other games in the past too. So, I mean, granted that there is the ones on 3DS that I hear are like really good. So,
well, one of them is
really good. Okay. All right.
The other one is pretty mediocre.
Okay. I know of two. Is it the Explorers of Time, or is it
no, Gates of Infinity. Gates of Infinity is pretty bad. That one's the mediocre one.
Got it.
But Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is top tier. That's a good one.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'll have to make a note of that one.
The DS ones, the second generation of Mystery Dungeon is the Explorers, right? So it's Explorers of Sky, Explorers of Time, and Explorers of Dark. Explorers of Ground. I think it's Explorers of Dark. Either way, Good luck paying those prices.
Oh, is it that bad?
Explorers of Sky is like a $200 game.
Oh God.
Which is why I have it on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Fair enough.
Wait, I think I do.
Oh.
Oh no, if I miss that, I'm gonna be sad.
Good luck.
But anyways, the point is, Explorers of the Sky was a late DS release.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't buy it, especially because it's actually the third version of the Explorers games. So it's like the Emerald to Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what you're holding in your hand
Yeah,
as a technical like breakdown, that is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team Deluxe. So that's actually all of the content from Blue Rescue Team and Red Rescue Team mixed together to make one game.
And that's super dope. I'm totally down for that. They might do more for that later on, so we'll see.
That is a very good entry point because those are the first Mystery Dungeon games. Mm-hmm. They didn't really change much in how it plays.
Okay.
It's just a graphical update and the music is really good.
Ooh. I'm down for that.
And two, if you've never played a Mystery Dungeon game, I hope you like roguelikes.
I guess. Oh, did they actually incorporate that into this? Like
Mystery Dungeon is a roguelike. It's actually one of the first roguelikes ever.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, how it works is every floor is randomly generated.
Mm-hmm.
So, and depending on how long the mission is, you're gonna have to go through floors randomly. So if you end up dying on one of the floors, you start back from the beginning. And it's all randomly generated again. Now, it's all mission based too. So there's gonna be like, oh, this Pokemon needs help. He's stuck in 410 of this area.
Sorry, you said stuck in. Okay, I was like, okay.
He's stuck in this floor. You need to help him out. I need my friend back. Okay.
All right.
So you're gonna go through 10 of these floors that are all randomly generated. They're never the same. And you're gonna help your friend. And then you might have to go back to that area because there's something else that comes up later. But it's all randomly generated, so it's not gonna be the same.
Gotcha.
That's how Mystery Dungeon works.
Mm.
It's you're gonna keep playing the same areas over and over again, but it's never the same.
Look at the developer. It's actually Spike Chunsoft. Okay.
Yep. Spike Chunsoft is the developer of all the Mystery Dungeon games that exist in the world.
That's crazy.
They start, I believe, like for history lesson real quick, Sheeran the Wanderer was the first one. It's the main bread and butter of the Mystery Dungeon series. Pokemon is actually a spin-off of the Mystery Dungeon series. Chocobo. So Final Fantasy has one too. I actually did the pickup last week about it. Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon is part of that Mystery Dungeon series.
Yeah, okay.
And then Etrian Odyssey has a Mystery Dungeon on 3DS. Etrian Mystery Dungeon, which is essentially Mystery Dungeon with Etrian Odyssey classes.
Huh.
Yep. You're welcome.
Ooh.
I actually really love Mystery Dungeon games. I don't really like roguelikes, as you know, but for me, Mystery Dungeon's always just kind of fun. Essentially, it's turn-based. The game is just a turn-based RPG, but it's all happening in real time. So it's not turn-based. It's weird. It's weird to explain it like that because if you're standing still, nothing's happening. The moment you start moving, because it's all tile-based, but the moment you move, everything in the map starts to move. Like enemies will move too. So it's like a board game. It's like a board game. If you move, enemies move too.
Okay.
That's why it looks jilted and like still like.
Yeah, that's why like when it feels kind of like it's hard to really describe.
But it technically is turn-based because once you get into battle, you choose an attack. If your speed is higher, you'll go first, like any other RPG, and it'll be turn-based until one person dies.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
So it is a very good game. I like it. You get used to it. You get used to it pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
And if you can play one of those, trust me, you can play them all.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that in my opinion, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team, the Rescue Team games are the best like first time Mystery Dungeon games. Those are like the easier ones. I know it was my first one, so. And I only played Red Rescue Team on Game Boy Advance. I didn't even have Blue on DS.
Oh man, I was gonna say about NSO, but yeah, no. Pretty much like if you have this, then you're pretty much set to go.
Yeah, I don't think that game is coming to NSO. Not because it's actually not because of the fact that it's on Game Boy Advance that they could put it on. It's because because that game is both a remake of a DS game and a Game Boy Advance game. So it's kind of hard to say, well, let's put half of content on NSO and not put the other half. Because there's like different things you can get between both games. That just, it makes it easier to where everything's on one card.
I see. Okay.
I don't know the actual big significant differences other than like Pokemon types. So don't shoot me on that one, but yeah. Also, if this is your first Mystery Dungeon game, Justin, I want you. I have a challenge for you. Play it as intended, and I say that because, in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, I know, I'm sure you know of it, right? The opening, how it works.
Yeah.
Where they ask you a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And whatever you get, it's your Pokemon.
That's you.
In this game, they make it to where if you don't want that Pokemon, you can just choose whatever.
Okay.
Play it as intended. See what you get.
Okay.
Because that's really the real connection with that game is whatever Pokemon you end up with.
Like that.
Like, that's you.
That's you. And then, aside from like the startup person that you're going to be partnered up with, I guess there's also options for other people to join in too. And you just kind of build out like your team.
Yep. So in my opinion, that's the appropriate way to play. It's like, yeah, I want to be Cyndaquil because that's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting Psyduck. So.
Whoa, Psyduck. Huh. All right.
There's a lot of multiples you can get in that game. Okay. That game goes up to 3rd gen. So.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
You'll only see Pokemon from 3rd gen.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Mystery Dungeon. So those are really fun games. I want to collect it. I would love to collect the series. Like I said though, Explorers of the Sky prevents me from doing that. But I think I might go for like maybe Explorers of Time and Explorers of Space or whatever,
Yeah, like kind of one of each series if possible.
Yeah, I think I want to do that. Except for Rescue Team, I want the DS. I want Blue because that is a separate console. It's weird. It's weird how they released that one.
Yeah,
like one version a DS game, but the other version's a Game Boy Advance game. Like,
yeah, and they released at the same time, right?
Yeah, they're both the same day.
Interesting how that. Yeah, they were like those are two different generational like consoles.
It's actually because if you get a DS, like an original DS, you put the Game Boy Advance card. Yeah. Another thing is look at the box art. That's actually both of those games box art put together.
Yeah. I know that Red had its like Game Boy Advance one, and then Blue was like definitely a DS one. And granted,
Blue,
like
Blue was looking down.
Yeah.
Because and that's on purpose. You wanna know why? Blue, the characters are looking down because it's the top card. When Game Boy Advance is the bottom card for your DS, so they're looking up. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. It's very I that's really creative.
Very nice.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you're gonna love Mystery Dungeon. It's super good. I didn't know. Like, as you as the big Pokemon guy at Tanuki Media, I assumed you had already know what Mystery Dungeon was.
Well, yeah, I do. Just never experienced it like fully.
Ooh, man, it's good stuff.
So we'll see.
It's a long game, but it's good stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, it's long. It's as long as you want to make it you can run the story and you'll be fine. But there's always side missions. There's always other things to do.
I'm like,
helps you out. You know what I mean? There's secret Pokemon you can get. Like,
not the Trails in the Sky 80-hour playthrough.
Whoa! No, not that long. It's not a Trails game long.
Okay. All right.
But man, Trails games are so good, dude.
They are really good so far.
Every time we do a podcast, we bring up Trails, I just wish every time Falcom, come on, port more to modern consoles, please. I'm begging you. Trails in the Sky, the trilogy needs to be modern console. Hell, Trails in the Sky the Third is only on PC in the West. Bring that to consoles.
That's
What
fair.
are you doing?
It's because of Xseed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of Xseed.
Xseed owns the rights to the American translations. Yeah, and it's because of that. Some of their releases are expensive. Did you know like Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 on PS4 are really hard to find?
Yeah, it's because of that.
Because they did a limited release. They didn't Xseed like barely committed to it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that sucks. Because again, like I said, those exist on Switch. They ported them in Japan. So all Xseed needs to do is say, hey, we'll bring them over.
It's that easy.
That's all they need to do. That easy. They just don't want to do it. They already have the English patch. They already have the translation. They don't need to do anything else. Except for marketing and then putting the English on there. That's it. And it kills me. It kills me. It kills me that I like to collect my Falcon games on Switch. But it's not complete because you have 3 that are exclusive to PlayStation. It's the 2 Trails of Cold Steel games and East Memories of Celceta.
That's true.
And like East Memories of Celceta is a Vita game. It makes sense on a portable. You're killing me.
It's rough over there because of just like the certain circumstances on that one. So I mean, hopefully they'll come around to it. I mean, honestly, Reverie was well, now they're picking up a lot of pacing now. Now we've got like Reverie, and honestly, like Trails from Zero to Azure is that was definitely yeah. And granted,
that's a big get. Yeah.
And now they have like Into Dawn. That's the next thing. So I mean, they might yeah, it should be Into Dawn.
It should have been Into Dawn. It's not called that. I think it's the
Crimson,
the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak.
Daybreak. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Trails Through Daybreak. That actually sucks because the original name is not called that. But yeah.
Okay.
It is Into Dawn in Japan.
Fair.
Trails Through Daybreak. Yep, there it is. Yep. That's going to be the official English name. But that's the thing, though. That game came out on PlayStation 5 in Japan only.
Oh, my God.
And it's getting ported to PS4 and Switch. So it's like, hell yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
So that gives me hope. That means the second game, which is where the Trail series is currently in Japan, might also be Switch port as well.
Gotcha.
When the time comes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, no, I mean Falcom was primarily a PlayStation like company, like they definitely
right
more, but they noticed Switch sales were like East 8 sold the most on Switch, and that's kind of what prompted them to start porting more and more to the point where East 10 was developed with Switch in mind.
Nice.
So, but those are the next 2 Falcom games that exist so far that we haven't gotten. It's East 10. And what was the other one? Oh, sorry, yeah, Crimson Kuronoki Seki 2. So Daybreak 2. Yeah. But also East 3 is in Japan on Switch and they didn't bring that over. Come on. You're killing me. I need Oath and Felghana. Please. Please. Good Lord, man.
We'll see. It's a matter of just the demand on it.
Me. I'm demanding it.
Well, there's definitely a community behind it. I've slowly been like jumping into that community.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a demand for it. I think there was there something else? We did talk about the pickups, but I think before we talked about Trails, was there anything else then? The Steam Deck, of course.
Oh yeah.
Steam Deck actually now has a new updated model called the Steam Deck OLED, which is actually going to be releasing next Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually really soon.
It's very soon. And you know what? As someone who already has that like a gaming handheld PC thing, that's kind of tempting because they got not only do they have the OLED, In a 1 terabyte option, I'm dying over here at 512 right now.
Oof.
Um, yeah, that's just really good. Honestly, and considering it's like even lower price than like what I have like with me on me, which is like 700, it's a really good deal. And they have a limited edition one, which is transparent, and I'm like, no, don't do that, because I'm going to.
I think the transparent one looks cool. I'd just be down for a regular one though.
That's fair too.
Yeah,
because it is just 650. But yeah, no, that's it's so interesting, like because PC gaming is always like known for like having the higher specs. It's more expensive, but it's higher specs like gaming performance stuff, and these guys are selling like hotcakes, and they are obviously not like on par with like PC built counterparts. But like it doesn't matter because they have like deck verified ones, which help like push those sales over there. But also like the fact is that people are willing to like essentially like buy like essentially the handheld market's just like grown up because of that too. So there's just that demand for like portable gaming. It's you've seen that with Switch. Switch has shown that like people are willing to like pay like extra money for like these games that may not perform like the greatest like across the board with like third party involved as well, but people are totally down for it for like portable stuff. It's so interesting to see that, like, because I feel like portability started to like fade away for a little bit in favor of just like home consoles and stuff like that. And obviously PC's been like there since the beginning, but now everything's kind of going back to like, oh, portable gaming is like, yeah. And Xbox and PlayStation also followed up with that, albeit not with full on consoles. Moreover, it was just although Game Pass is kind of different. Game Pass's kind of functions different, but PlayStation at the very least has like streaming available, so everyone's just kind of adopted that. Just interesting like wave of like demand.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm really tempted for that 1 terabyte OLED.
yeah,
I really want that. Here's the thing, as a console gamer myself, because I don't really play PC games, but as a console gamer, that's tempting for me because I get to experience PC games, like to the point where like it is a console. It's where I can keep that console feeling, but still get to play PC exclusive games, and that's appealing to me because there's a lot of indie games I would have loved to played, but I don't because I play on console.
right.
The Trails games I can play them on here. Well, the ones that are actually verified. The East games, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many like things I can stop complaining about bringing them over when I can just play them here. Like,
Yeah.
there's that. There's like the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is really cool.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like, I claimed it just to make sure I have it, but I would like to play it on the go because you can. It's verified. Like, there's stuff like that. Like, there's really cool PC only games that exist, and then I just really want to play them. So for me, a Steam Deck is cool, and I do trust the Steam like OS more than any other OS. So I kind of And my big thing holding me back was that LCD screen. I got the chance to hold the Steam Deck in my hand and play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it not really as impressive?
It was good. I liked the idea that I was like, damn, this. I'm playing Doom. They gave me Doom 2016, of course, and I was playing it, and I was like, this is cool, and it runs better than the Switch version. But I was like, the screen is so garbage. And I don't know what it is. I know that it's LCD, but the Switch original screen was also LCD, and it looked better than that. So I was like, ugh, like this is gross. Like the screen is like not worth it.
Kind of whatever. Okay.
But OLED, now you're talking.
HDR and everything. It's like, oh
yeah,
like it looks clean.
And the OLED models are replacements. They're outright replacing the LCD models to an extent. The basic low tier one is LCD, but the 512 gigabyte one, it's OLED now. They completely got rid of the other one, and then the 1 terabyte's the new model, which is now replacing the other one as the expensive. Now that one's the $650 one. So, I mean, and doesn't Steam Deck support micro SD?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
So easy upgrade on memory.
that is fair. Yeah. I'd be doing the same thing, but my ROG Ally has a issue when it comes to micro SDs, in sense that the way that's designed, with heat starting to like stave off of like from your hands, it all goes kind of like towards the center, and unfortunately, that's where the micro SD card is, and there's many reports of it frying off because of it. So I can't upgrade it that way. I had to install
Oof.
a whole SSD, which is not bad. It's just it's kind of costly, and so. And now there's a Steam Deck, so I'm like, oh Jesus, I don't know.
See, yeah, I'm really tempted. You know, I've always wanted some way to play PC games like that. Like back in the old, I say old days, but years ago. Remember when Steam tried to do those Steam boxes?
They did like the old Steam machines, but like not someone's built, just like their own thing.
Yeah, I really was tempted to get one back in the day.
Mm.
But you know, I convinced myself, nah, that sounds like a lot of hassle. You know,
Yeah.
this seems like the next logical step for it.
Mm.
So I'm very interested in getting a Steam Deck.
Oh, it really was called the Steam machine.
Yeah. Would it be my Switch replacement? God no.
Absolutely not.
No. No, I love my Nintendo games.
Mm.
But for me, like I get to play these games that I just didn't think I was gonna play anywhere else. Like it opens up for me as a console gamer more opportunities to play these PC games, and that's what I want.
Yeah, and I think the main another allure to the Steam Deck is the fact that like everything is like cloud based as far as saves. Well, I mean, you can still save locally, but like otherwise you can like get the cloud save, and any other like PC device that supports Steam in any fashion has access to those saves. So you're really just being able to play on the go and be flexible with that at any given time. So it's almost like a no-brainer.
I only have one question.
Aye.
And I'm sure you might be able to answer this for me.
Aye.
Is there any way to get Game Pass on your Steam Deck?
Yes. It's cloud.
Not easily. Oh,
it's cloud
based.
It's cloud based. So you can definitely
you play mobile, yeah.
Yeah, because it runs on Linux instead of like Windows. So the ROG Ally runs on Windows. As a result, you can actually play Game Pass on this guy. That's why it's promoted as Game Pass too. So, but also can do Steam too. So like, yeah, and Epic. So that's why
that's right.
Yeah, that's why I went this route. But also at the same time, like that 1 terabyte option OLED, like ooh.
Interesting. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing.
Interesting. I mean, I guess like I'm whatever. Like I could use it as a cloud-based way to do it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if I can do it that way. But all right,
it is a cool experience for sure, especially for those who don't actually have like multiple consoles or their own like mainline like PC that they can really run these games on, and you can just use you could use like a portable like gaming device that can play things natively. But yes, Steam Deck just has like that expansive like library as it is, so you have access to everything in one little guy. So
interesting.
It's definitely. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm still making the video for Tanuki about this guy, and I'm still like writing up the works and drafts. And as I'm doing that, I'm still fighting that urge to be like, okay, like let's put down like because it is $700. Like to be honest, like that's still a lot considering that like I think actually all the other consoles right now are just 500. So it's like,
and Switch is only 350. It's like, well, OLED.
That's true. Yeah. And the Steam Deck is just a mini PC, and PCs at $700 can still be like pretty effective in performance, maybe even more so than maybe the Steam Deck itself. But yeah, that's tough. Because I know as well, like when they were interviewed about like possible stuff, they will eventually have like some kind of Steam Deck too, just not yet. Maybe within the next couple of years. So it's like, should you go for like this definitive Steam Deck, or should you just wait for like a more higher spec one? Because they're clearly supporting this. They're totally down for it. That's why they're doing this whole upgrade. And also,
I'm really tempted. I really am.
Just like some for context, Steam Deck did come out in 2022 in February, so it's been like over a year. for the Switch, it took like about 4 years until they decided to go into like an OLED model.
Yep.
So they got those sales, and they were like, we know that there's definitely a demand for this one, so we're gonna go forward with that. So still fighting the urge, but yeah, that's definitely an option. What I loved about the Steam Deck is the fact that they do have deck verified things, and that makes a huge difference as far as like, you know, the allure of the Steam Deck versus other like handhelds, because they can run, but are they are they verified? Is always a question.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say so with a Steam Deck,
Mm-hmm.
you technically can run unverified games.
You keep technically, yeah.
But like it just hasn't been cleared for it, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, because there might be something that's preventing it from being cleared.
Right. So
okay.
Right. Yeah, so the game may require some manual tweaking by the user to like play them. Like in this case, they have like Steam Fortress 2 as like an example of like one that is playable. So yeah. And then, things like I guess Half-Life Alyx, they say is unsupported because, it's VR and everything. And then they have some unquestionable ones because they haven't checked those games for compatibility. But things like Elden Ring, for example, yeah, they work just fine with Steam Deck, right out of the box. They say, so they'll probably have like their own like preset like made and baked into that. So, yep. Otherwise, yeah, it's the Steam Deck OLED is essentially what's the word? It's pretty much the exact same console. Like the only thing I mean, granted they have a lot of upgrades where it's about the OLED screen, the HDR, the expanded battery, the sticks are different, the face buttons are different, the triggers are different. But they pretty much just update everything. So it's really good. So it might be worth it to like upgrade it if you already have an existing guy, for sure. But also you're not like truly lost if you decide to just hold back on that too. So it's totally up to the user if they want to go for it. I've been tempted with the Steam Deck for a while, but I've definitely just been holding off because I'm like, oh, I don't really need like a trackpad, for example. I would like the opportunity to play like Game Pass PC, so that was like another reason for me. And a reason that deck verified games, like that's great, but if it runs like on the handheld, it should on any other gaming handheld and it's deck verified, it should work on other ones as well. So, but it does kind of depend on like each individual thing. So yeah, like for example, most games like have that PC like port to them. Will most likely run just fine, but there's definitely games that that are released on PC that may not actually have like a good what's the word? A good transitional thing versus like console platforms. Like I will give you the example like Atelier Ryza does not run well on like these handhelds. It just isn't optimized well for PC. That's the word.
Yeah.
But otherwise, other games that are verified, they'll definitely work on any other handheld. So it's totally up to you.
I did also hear that like some of the ones that are in yellow, right? Like there's three tiers of verified, right? There's verified, there's the unsure, and then there's the not verified at all.
Yeah, I think there's technically like four of them. There's verified, okay. There's playable, then there's unsupported, and then there's just kind of like
Thank
unknown.
You. Oh, okay, that's right. So for playable, a lot of them just depends on the text, actually, like from what I hear. It's because really? It was meant for bigger screens, so the text is going to be
super small.
Small, yeah. So if you can deal with that, then by all means.
Gotcha.
But you're right. There are certain games that PC ports are not good. Like, for instance, some of the newer releases where they're like the V-Sync's all off the rails and
oh, really? Okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah, like Dead Space PC was pretty bad at launch.
Mm-hmm.
So it really just depends. But also a big thing that Steam Deck has over like say even Switch or any of the consoles is the Steam library. It's the Steam OS. That means it has support for like older games. It's
Yeah.
been there in the library for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just playing through the
So,
Trails games, for example, is like, oh, okay, well, I don't have it on like a console, but we can play it on like PC and everything like that, and it runs super smooth. Everything's like super nice.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anything, I guess the Trails series, like as far as like in the sky, they run totally fine on PC. So
Yeah,
and
the
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 handhelds.
Falcom games are actually PC for the most part. Like,
Oh, okay.
I have a question. I'm gonna open up my Steam real quick. Are some of the Trails games not verified technically?
Good question. I don't think I've really even like checked that.
I know that some of the East games are not. That's why,
Oh really? Oh.
yeah, they're not verified.
Oh no. That's my way to collecting
Um,
them so far until they get physical.
yeah.
Honestly, it'd be nice to see if they have. Oh, you know,
I'm doing a double check right now. Let's do the Trail series. Hold on.
honestly, I think a lot of the compatibility for it falls under like full controller support, and then whatever else is just like whether it's optimized well for PC in general.
Let's see. Trails in the Sky.
Because I think what would really be good is when you look at the titles on Steam, they actually tell you if it's verified or not, like immediately up front, but they don't. Unless I guess you check your store and you actually like filter it as
Ooh. Trails in the Sky 1 is unsupported.
really.
Yeah. It says Valve is working on adding support to this game on Steam Deck.
That's oh okay. It's working just fine on. Well, I mean, granted, I haven't like done a full play session, but I definitely have been playing on the ROG Ally before. Granted, though, my capture like tells me otherwise as far as like it muting on me, like in capture. But that's capture. But actually playing it, I was able to do that. So might be a different case. You know what? Perfect excuse for me to bring the entire RG Ally over.
Okay, so Trails in the Sky and Trails in the Sky SC are both unsupported, but the third is fine.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
verified.
Yeah,
So
mm,
they probably are definitely working on trying to get most of these verified.
yeah. I wish I knew more of the process on that. But yeah, I
Same.
can actually show you too.
Verify. Yeah, Steam Deck verified. Yeah, so the two Crossbell games are verified.
Mm.
So Zero and Azure. Those make sense. Those are new releases. It's the Trails of Cold Steel series I want to see.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I should really boot it up.
Why do I need to what the Trails of Cold Steel rated M?
That's not right. Wait a minute.
That's not right at all because they're asking me for age verification right now.
What do you mean they got booty? What? Hold on. Hold on. I might need.
Hey,
I might
wait
need.
a minute. You know what? It is anime.
Hold on. I think I might need to skip the third real quick.
Let's skip the
Wait.
Crossbell games and the third.
Forget it.
It's rated T. What the fuck? What was that for? Cold Steel 1 verified.
Okay. All right. All right. I guess you would find maybe like the support tab.
I just click on the page and then it tells me on the right.
Really? Okay. I'm looking at my library, so that might be a different thing. To the store page.
Cold Steel 2 unsupported.
Oh, yeah, they do ask you to verify your age. Like, what the?
Yeah, Cold
Oh,
Steel 2
yeah, okay.
verified is unsupported. Cold Steel 3 unsupported.
Wait, does oh yeah, it does have verified right there. Cool.
Cold Steel 4 playable. This game's launcher setup tool may require the touchscreen or virtual keyboard or have difficult to read text. Some functionality is not accessible when using the default controller configuration.
Actually,
Requiring use of touchscreen or virtual keyboard. Wow.
I can actually say for like well, Trails in the Sky 1 and 2, when you actually try booting it up on Steam, they give you the options to either go for their configuration tool prior to like launching the game, and that lets you change the stuff like.
Oh, that's how all their games are. So does East.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
so
might be
East.
some different.
That's how I got this bad boy to be working with all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you would register it at first, and then you'd be able to go just fine. I just figured that
And
might
then
be the reason for 1 and 2.
this is gonna be dumb, but I'm gonna assume Trails into Reverie is okay.
It's not supported. My God, what do you mean?
It's verified. Yeah, it's verified. That's what I assumed.
What about?
That's new.
I was gonna double check with like Legend of Zelda. It's verified, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm assuming all of the recent NIS America translations, those have to be verified, right? Like,
yeah, they gotta.
okay. How about East?
Yay!
East. I promise this will be our last segment. I know we're going too long on this.
Yeah.
Oh man, East Origin unsupported.
Damn. Well, at least I got on Switch. It's like, well.
That's fair. Those ones are on Switch. Okay, please, Chronicles, come on. Chronicles 1 and 2 are playable.
Fair enough. Okay. Not the run and bump games.
I love those games. How dare you?
I was thinking about that. I was like, that's kind of taken out of context. That sounds kind of inappropriate.
Yeah. Oath and Felghana, playable.
Here's Tales of Rise is currently. Oh yeah, verified on that one.
Memories of Celceta is
playable,
unsupported.
Damn,
unsupported. Yep,
fully.
What's the next one? It would be Arkham Nepishtim, huh? Yep. Playable. Okay, hold on, slow down. If Oath and Felghana is playable and so is Arkham Nepishtim, that makes no sense because why would Origin not be supported? It's the same engine. Anyways, E7 unsupported. And I can already answer you these two, but yes, East 8 and 9 are both verified.
That's fair.
I double checked those a long time ago when I was trying to decide if I wanted the original models of the
Steam Deck.
Because really, it's gonna be my Falcom machine for the most part, you know.
I get you.
But like, I have things in my library. Like I have, like I said, the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I have some indie games like Braid on here.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I want one. I want this just to have a library, you know, just in case, like those games never come out on anything else.
Yeah, that's true. Because at that point, like, if they're just digital, fair enough.
Yep.
Now everything can just be played on a little guy. Well, it's kind of chunky, but you know, a chunky guy.
But yeah.
One of the weird things about the Steam Deck, though, it's kind of like a personal thing, is just like the resolution is kind of like a little different. It's not quite your 16:9. You can make it like that,
yeah,
for the most part, but it is 1280 by 800 still. Even though like it's now a 7.4 inch versus the 7 inch originally.
Yeah.
Taking away a little bit of the bezels, sure. But it is like that's the full resolution, which makes it a little bit more kind of squarish than, you know, 16:9, which would be like 1280 like by 720. But yeah, and some games can support that, some like probably don't. But you know, you can always configure that. But you know, I guess another one of the things that is alluring about the Steam Deck is the fact that like with PC, there's some setup like involved with that one with the Steam Deck as far as it being verified. It definitely feels like it could probably be like I wouldn't say plug and play because that, you know, you're just like on the go with that one, but it feels like you just play it like immediately once you boot it up. So.
And then isn't there a way to connect wireless controllers to the Steam Deck?
Yes, there is.
Okay, now I have another question. Isn't there a way to have the Steam Deck playable on a monitor, like a big screen?
Yeah, absolutely. They have their own dock.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Same with the ROG Ally as well, but yeah. Essentially, it's just a USB like hub, like for that specific guy, that splits up into different USB stuff, another power like direct, so you know, can still feed in some power there. Yeah, it's called the Steam Deck docking station. Let me see what it has because I'm pretty sure it has like 2 USBs and Ethernet port. Oh, here.
Yeah, I'm being convinced more and more to try out the Steam Deck.
Yeah, me too. I'm like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's expensive and it's a whole thing, you know. So
True. So it's like, you already have the PC that's in front of you, and that seems to be functioning fine for a lot of the retro games that you would otherwise be playing on. Otherwise, the Switch, Xbox, PlayStation's got you. So
yeah, like everybody should know, like I'm mostly a retro. I wouldn't say mostly a retro gamer. I would just say I play a lot more retro games than maybe like everybody else in Tanuki Media.
That's fair.
Yeah. So like for me, like my kind of games are always like platformers and like indie games and Nintendo style games and whatnot.
Here's something I didn't know about the docking stations. That obviously it has like 3 USB ports. It's got the Ethernet port. It's got the power in. It's got HDMI port and a display port separately. So it's like, oh, interesting. Because I guess at this point, yeah. So you could
interesting. Not because I want to play the Steam Deck on a TV. Not like that. Like not all the time.
Yeah.
But for like there's some occasions where maybe like we have friends over and
yeah, sure.
You know, like maybe there's multiplayer games on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was just really interesting to see a display port added to this one. But I think that's everything. Phil, is there anything else you want to add for like things that happened this past week?
No. No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm just patiently waiting for Mario RPG. It's gonna be great when it gets up. It comes out next week.
I gotcha.
You know, I thought Mario. I love Mario Wonder. But Mario RPG, man, I love that game. That's one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. So I'm very much looking forward to being able to. I'm looking forward to not only just me replaying it, but having people like. It's kind of like how I feel like when people are like, "Well, why are you buying the Switch game again when you already have it on Wii U?"
Yeah.
Right. I played the Wii U, but I was the only one in a group of like 12 people that had a Wii U. Nobody else got to experience that game but me. And so when I feel dumb when I'm talking about this game I'm playing and everyone's like, huh?
Well, why are you doing that? It's like, this is here. You got to experience it now.
But on Switch, it's like, one, I get to revisit the game. Two, now everybody else has a Switch. We're all experiencing these games. I get to actually finally talk about Mario RPG with people who have never experienced this game.
Yes. Instead of having like a one-sided conversation of like what it was like and people just having a vague idea of what it was, now they can actually experience it themselves.
Exactly. And so for me, that's big. I want to be able to talk about that game more with people because I love that game. It's really good. It's not my favorite Mario RPG. Thousand Year Door exists, but it's like second up there.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. In that case,
yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and call it here, guys. Everyone, I appreciate everyone for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. This has been episode 480 of DangIT Prodcast. My name is Justin.
And I'm Philip.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves until then, everybody. #bye, everyone.